Hey, what's red and smells like blue paint? Red paint. I'm Dale Rodman Jr. III, and this is Slow to Pro, the video series where I go from slow to a mid-pack maniac. Today we're with the brightest stars in the sky, Zealous Racing League, for round number 4 of 7 in their 11th season. We've got a 45-minute race with a mandatory pit stop for fuel. Tires are optional, and the podium winners from last round have additional time added to their pit stops. And since we came second in class last round, we have a 10-second penalty to work through. It's time now for the green flag. Starting in P15 overall, P6 or P5 in the class, I can't remember. And coming into turn 1, we're going to squeeze right up on the inside of this portion. The leaders are going to get into each other, and the one leader's off into the grass there. The other one is in this blue Ferrari, and we've got no choice but to check up a little bit on the throttle, tuck on the inside line, get another pass. Going to put us up into P11 once the HUD finally updates. So that's 4 positions gained in just a few turns. I'm pretty happy with the start of this race so far. Still got a lot of dirt flying, still got a lot of cars tucked pretty tight, but we've got a gap to the car in front of us. So let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit here, see what happens toward the end of this lap. Just a little bit further now, coming into the second to last turn. I don't know what happened to the Ferrari. I do know what happened to me. I was a goon, bumped into his butt, turned him around, got the car behind me too, turned him around. Eesh, not proud of myself, but that does put us into P10 for the moment. P3 in class at the end of the first lap. Let's go ahead and skip ahead and see what happens next. Here we are toward the end of lap number 9. We've just caught up to the BMW, still in P10 overall, P3 in class, fighting now for P2 in class. And directly behind me now, with just a half second behind, is Mr. Larson, the resident alien of Zealous Racing League, the champion of champions. So now I've got to decide, do I want to continue trying to make the move on the BMW, or do I want to let Mr. Larson come through me, and then when he makes his move on the BMW, do I want to try to follow him through? And knowing the way I drive, this decision is more than likely going to make itself. Mr. Larson is almost certainly going to get his way through me before I get my way through the BMW. So let's skip ahead just a couple turns here. I go a little bit wide through this long stretcher, and Mr. Larson's able to get his nose right up the inside, and I decide down the long straight, yeah, let's just tuck in, let's let off the throttle, tuck in behind, and we'll follow. Strategic decisions like that are always dramatically easier when someone else makes them for you. Let's go ahead and skip ahead now to the end of this lap when the Mercedes is able to make their way through the BMW. And I took note of that. Final turn, BMW understeered. Put that in the catalog. Because if we skip ahead, we're going to pull that one right out of the Rolodex, and same thing's going to happen. Final turn, BMW understeered. Right up the inside. There we go. Puts us up into P2 in our class for the moment. And if we skip ahead now to the final lap, there was no more action for the rest of this race. After our 10-second penalty, the BMW was able to regain the spot and hold on to it. We ended up crossing the line, P12 overall, P3 in class. Very happy with the result. Gonna go ahead and put the standings for the top split on screen now. Congratulations to Mr. Larson for continuing his lead. And I'm going to put the standings for the bottom split on screen now. Congratulations to Mr. Flores for extending his lead. And I'm going to need a miracle at our next race at Bathurst if I intend on closing that gap. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up finishing this season in P2, but it'll be exciting to see if I can hold on to it. Apologies for the shortness of this video, but that's just sometimes how it do be. I'll be back later this week with some action from LFM at Imola. And I'll be back next week with the action from Zealous Racing League at Mount Panorama. As always, thank you so much for watching Slow to Pro. I am Dale Rodman Jr. III. You guys have the kind of day you want to have.